Hey everyone, it's Elite Day, also known as Sites My Show, also known as Elite Day, and today we're talking about the Kardashians. We're talking about the Kardashians, but when you say Kardashians, it's a bit too simple than that. We're not talking about the Kardashians as like a group, not just that, but we're also we're gonna be talking about the show. The show. The show. No, not the new show on Hulu. Not that. No. The new show. We're not talking about the new Kardashians. We're talking about the old Kardashians. Like 2007 Kardashians. Guys, I got a lot of notes. I got a lot of things to say. I got a lot of things to note. And since they do have a lot of notes, this is going to be a part 1. Because I just finished the first half of season 1. There's 8 episodes in season 1. So I just finished the first half of season 1. I only have notes on 2 episodes. Because the other episodes were not important to me. They were not. It was about sex tape, momager. Also, trigger warning for sex. Trigger warning for sex tape. Because if you don't know context, Kim did a sex tape. Yeah. Okay, are we good on that? Do we know what era I'm talking about? She's still talking about the sex tape in the new Hulu one. So that's why I just want to make this clear. I'm talking about the Kardashians that really came out after the sex tape came out. Not like after as in, 2025, 2007. 2007, when the drama came out. When the drama, okay? Right after Kim's sex tape. That's the Kardashian season I'm talking about. So, I got notes. I got a lot of notes. I got my iPad on one leg and my phone on the other leg. So, let's get started. Let me clarify a few things. Before we get started, let me clarify a few things. 1. My feelings for the Kardashians is that they're okay. I don't like them that much, but I also don't like them that much. I also don't like them that much. I don't dislike them that much. They're neutral. If I was supposed to make a little tier list of people, if I was to make a little tier list of people, of celebrities that I hate the most, or like to hate, they would be in C tier. They're okay to an extent. Their parents, I'm going to have to say, I feel a little different. They're not D or F tier. They're still C tier, but really C tier. Like, I don't care about the Kardashians that much. Reason why I'm watching the Kardashian show is because, 1, I was bored. Sue me. I was bored. When you're a college student that's doing everything virtual, you get bored. Simple line, you get bored, you get nothing to do. You have nothing. So excuse me for being just a little bit, tad bit bored of life in general, but like bored on a mass scale. That I would resort to watching a show that all started because of a sex tape. I'll be honest, it probably didn't start because of a sex tape. But unless someone says otherwise, for me, it started because of a sex tape. So Kim could clear her name. I'm proud to go for that. I'm not going to talk about current Kim, because current Kim's a mess. She's a mess. Like, every Nepo baby in history is obsessed with status. Okay? My opinions, I cannot put this down enough. My opinions only. Unless you I'm open to interviews. If you want me to interview you, just message me on Twitter, Pinking Guns, and, we'll see something out. There's no payment. I'm not paying you guys anything. If you want to join for free, like, come on, coming out. Okay? We could do a collab or a call. I'm not going to call. Not really. But, like, I'll record an interview or some, whatever you want to do. We're not here to talk about that. That's a whole other episode. But yeah, this episode we're talking about the old Kardashians. The old one, where Kylie and Kendall were still babies. Those, not babies, but kids. But minors. Okay? So I get that out of the way, because there's some ideas that take place when they were minors, which made me uncomfortable. And we're going to start now. First point, I'm going to read from my iPad. Chris should have told Bruce the truth. This is episode 3. We're on episode 3, and episode 3 on my computer is called Brody in House, which, listen, unlike shows, unlike actual shows, like actual TV shows, cartoon or not cartoon, I don't talk about characters. Because you already know who the Kardashians are. Unless you've been living under a rock. Thank God if you have. I'm jealous. But if you haven't been living under a rock, you probably know what the Kardashians is. But quick overview. Kim, the main character, always. Chris, Bruce, Joe, Brody apparently, Kylie, Chloe, Kendall, Rob. Not Joe, Rob. And really quickly also, an overview of episode 1 and 2. Episode 1 was this Chris Jenner just hog-wiling on Chloe's boyfriend because she heard someone cheat. She heard someone was with him and they were cheating on Chloe. Oh, and also Courtney. I like Courtney. Not in general, not like today, I don't know what she's doing right now. But like in season 1, I like Chloe. Okay. But yeah, that's episode 1. Episode 2, Managing Mom, was a hog whistle. I didn't care about that. Sorry. That's why I'm not really talking about episodes 1 and 2, because I don't care about that. I didn't write notes about that. I wrote notes about episode 3 and episode 4, which is what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about, and that's what's going to come out tomorrow. That's what's going to come out. So, episode 3 was about all these girls, but the girls, Courtney, Chloe, Kim, all the 3 girls, just like, doing bathing suits. They're like doing a photo shoot for swimsuit, whatever, for Girls Gone Wild. Which, weird, a little bit weird, not weird. Actually, that's not weird at all. As long as they're not fully naked Playboy. Oh, we're gonna get to that in a few. But, already out of the way, Crystal told Bruce the truth. Already, reading off my iPad, Crystal told the truth. This will all settle down. The events that happened, I'm not even focusing on the 3 girls, or like the girls of Foolish. I'm not focusing on those 3. I'm focusing on Kendall and Kylie. Kendall and Kylie, what happened to my eyes wouldn't have happened to my eyes if Chris told Bruce about, and who cares? He literally mentions, it doesn't matter if they tell him or not. Who cares? Those 3 are nearly adults. If they're not, they're teenagers turning into adults. They're adults. They should be adults. They can handle themselves. They're adults. Focus on your children. Focus on your children. Focus on Kendall and Kylie. Kendall and Kylie. We're being left with these 2 adult men. two adult men. Two adult men. Kylie and Kendall were like, they look like elementary school to middle school age. Younger than me when I was born. This came out in 2007. I was born in 2005. I was like 2 years old. I was 2 years old then. This came out in, I haven't even reached 2 years old again. This 2 years old. This was in 2007, 10/24. 10/14. Yeah. October 14th. I wasn't even 2 yet. But that's not me. We're not focusing on me. Kendall and Kylie. Why were they left alone with these two grown men? This wouldn't have happened if Chris told the truth. Or if Brody minded his business, wasn't telling Bruce about anything. This could have happened if Bruce didn't know about anything. He didn't have to know. He didn't have to know. He didn't have to know. He could have stayed with Kylie and Kendall instead of leaving her with two men. Or instead of leaving those two with two other men. We haven't even gotten to the point where I'm mad at. And I'm already starting to get heated up. Next point on episode 3. Ashley, I accidentally named her Lisa, designs, they look horrible. That's the next point. Kylie, no, not Kylie. Ashley designs look horrible. It's 2007. Just a reminder, it's 2007, and they're supposed to look good, but they don't. And Ashley was like being a real nuisance to the girls. I don't really sympathize much with Nepo babies, because like, you got everything in the world. You got everything in the world. You got a lot of things that you want in the world. You got a house. A mansion. You got rings. Bling rings and other things. Probably got a boat somewhere. That I don't feel that much sympathy for them, but I do feel sympathy for them because Ashley was a lot. She was a lot. And a quote that made me, I'm like, wow, the nerve was like, that's the difference between a working model who makes their living off working and whatever they are. Now that I wrote this down, I was a little pissed off because the nerve, how dare you? You don't deserve their presence. They don't have to do this with you. They don't have to work with you. They could have declined. Chris could have made everyone decline. And then, even without context, that phrase, whatever they are, is kind of disrespectful. What they are, say it like it is. Before context, without context, it sounds cowardly. It sounds cowardly. Are you scared to say that they're Nepo babies? Because they are. I wouldn't be scared of saying that. They're Nepo babies. There you go. There you go. They're Nepo babies. And whatever they are, they're Nepo babies. They are Nepo babies. Okay? Well, that's so hard to say. That doesn't seem hard to say for me. They're Nepo babies. Nepo babies. Probably weren't before they were born, but Nepo babies. They're Nepo babies, okay? But now, with context, yeah, she's right, kind of. That's the difference between a working model who makes their living off working and whatever they are. They were stressing you out. And I'm like, with context, the nerve of her. Because she's the one making them go back and forth, switching bikinis, one pieces, dresses. They're tired. You're driving them nuts. You're driving them nuts. I have little to no sympathy for the Kardashians because Nepo babies fix everything with money. That's what you got it for, right? But I have a little bit of tiny, 5% of sympathy in me to say that, girl, bye. Bye, we don't need you. We get paid for another fashion designer. They should have paid for another fashion designer since they're so rich. Billions in the pocket, can't get another fashion designer that's not Ashley? I know it was technically an offer. Like, she gave them that offer. Go wild girl, go wild girl, whatever. They gave them the opportunity. And I'm like, okay, you didn't have to. You're gonna complain. And I don't know who said it's Courtney, Chloe, or Kim. But one of them said that they need a professional. And I was like, you're right. She's not really professional. Comparing Nepo babies, because remember the Nepo babies, to a working model. That's rude to the model, most likely. That's more rude to the model than it is to the Nepo babies. Because the model actually had to work up. Why couldn't you be with a regular model who works from the bottom up instead of with people who aren't experienced or are rich? Is it because they're rich? Theory, it's probably because of the sex tape. It was probably because of the sex tape. They want everyone, they want to leap on the Kardashian success because of the sex tape. That's all Kim's known for. Ugh. I don't want to go there. I don't want defamation. So let's go to the next point. Kylie and Kendall's sexualization, exclamation mark, question mark. We're finally here. We're finally here. One of Brody's friends, quote unquote, says, let me manage you. Okay, actually, we're not even gonna, no, we're not there yet. Let's go back to the fact that Bruce left 2 grown men in charge of 2 female. Because if it was 2 boys with 2 girls, the girls would get in trouble. But with 2 grown men and 2 girls, 2 little girls is not a problem. 2 full-grown men. And the craziest thing is that they had a babysitter. But Chris, being Chris, fired her. Perfect age for Kylie and Kendall. But no, this episode, 2 grown men for Kendall and Kylie. One of them recorded them.
Hey, B, come here.
Really? One of them recorded them. One of them recorded them and says, and this is a quote, I quote, let me manage you. Manage for what? For what? What are you managing them for? What is going on? What is going on? What's going on and why did you say that? Why did you say that? Why did you say that? What made you think that was alright to say that? Having Kendall and Kylie. He didn't have them. Let me make this clear. He didn't make them do anything. Kendall and Kylie. Let's not blame Kendall and Kylie. They probably don't even remember that they did that. Let's not blame Kendall and Kylie. They didn't do much. But be children. Because of what they hear. Children, before you blame the children do think they're sponges. They do things based on what they hear and what they see. So if Kendall and Kylie are doing all this weird, inappropriate stuff, because of Girls Gone Wild magazine, saying things like probably should, whatever, that means that they saw something or heard something or that they shouldn't have heard. Don't you think? Don't you think? Oh my god. Let me burp. Excuse me. Don't you think the reason why they're acting this way is because they heard something and they want to not model, but they did it. They do it. They copy off of it. Like, why do you think they do these things? Okay. And that quote, "Let me manage you," was from Brody's older friend that came over for no reason. Another quote saying some hot babes, saying, "Where are the hot babes?" And then, quote unquote, and then Brody, presumably, said, right there. And I'm like, what? The sexualization, I'm sorry for the background music, that's my uncle. The sexualization of Kendall and Kylie in that episode was outstandingly bad. Not outstandingly in a good way, but outstandingly bad. Those girls didn't deserve that. They didn't deserve that. I don't hear nobody talking about this, but they didn't deserve that. So I'm here to talk about that. Like, oh my god. Be for real. Really? Really? You guys must be crazy. You guys must be crazy. I'm surprised I haven't gave up on the show yet. Wow. 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 Okay. Wow. Woo. Guys. Let me manage you. Who says that? One of the grown men. Not Brody. Brody's held responsible, but not Brody. I don't even know the friend's name. So I just wrote in the last bullet point, Brody's friend's weird. And I think that Brody should be held responsible of the things he and his friend, quote unquote friend, I would dropped him, should be responsible for the things that they say. And responsible for Kendall and Kylie. He should be a little strict, like, hey, don't do that. Don't do that, Kylie. Don't do that, Kendall. Instead of laughing and giggling like they're one of Kendall and Kylie's age group friends. When they're way older than them. And then Bruce had the nerve. Said, when do you guys want Brody over? And they said every day. They don't know that they were being sexualized. That they were being recorded. They wanted to be recorded, but like, you still should not record it, no matter what they say. That episode made me mad. It made me mad. Last thoughts in this episode? You gotta be sick in the head. You gotta be sick in the head. I'm not even on the second half of the Kardashian season 1. And I already think that there's something wrong. There's so much things wrong. There was so much thing wrong in the episode, I don't like episode 3. Don't piss me off right now. Don't piss me off right now. And you know, the only people, if I had to feel bad, Kylie and Kendall. That's the only two Kardashian/Jenners that I feel bad for. Because they don't deserve. Like, Bruce leaving the two girls alone was creeps and a weirdo. Oh my god. We gotta move on. Because this episode, I could go all day. Episode 4, which is called Birthday Suit. Birthday Suit as in, you guessed it. If you watched the Kardashians in 2007, you know this is the episode where Kim Kardashian goes to Playboy. And they pictures for Playboy magazines. And I'm like, oh my god. Okay, let's get started. So, first off, bullet point, Playboy? For Kim? After her 60? Boldest move I've seen of Kim. And Kim cares about her image. She does. She cares about her image, but at the same time, money's money. I don't think they were paid. I don't think she was paid to do that. Whatever. sex tape, whatever. Whatever, let's not care about that. Let's go record anyway. The only time I would feel proud about Bruce was that he was cautious. He was cautious. And Kim wasn't uncomfortable because she didn't want to strip. It was understandable. Playboys could all, you know what? Let's break it out there. Playboy is basically the magazine that makes everyone's sexualizing these girls and these boys, because Playgirl also exists. Sexualizing these boys and girls. That's all. For especially Playboy, those little cube cheese eating, most likely B words, sitting in their mom's house, getting freaky with a Playboy. That's what Playboy is to me. They can't handle themselves. Anyways, this is the green part. Kim doesn't want to be exposed. No one would. But again, it's Playboy and Hypner, I think his name is. He really doesn't care about comfortability. Because if he did care, and if he dared listen to Kim's comments, he would have obviously just... He would have obviously just... Hey, you can be a little revealing, but not fully naked. She released a sex tape. Not months before, she released a sex tape. Remember the sex tape? Next, Kim makes Chris do it. A taste of Chris's own medicine. And I'm like, good for you. Good for you, Kim. Good for you. I guess. Good for you. Anyways. Yeah. Anyway, excuse me. Next. Because Chris looks good. She looked good in those photos. I'm not gonna lie. But, it doesn't change the fact that Kim went again and took more photos for Playboy. In the Playboy mansion. I'm gonna read another quote. It's from Chris. This is before Kim took her second row of photos. I can't believe my mom is so... This first one's from Kim. I can't believe my mom is so comfortable with being naked. And that's because you're not comfortable with being naked because you had a sex tape come out and you care about your status. No one is comfortable about being naked. Let me be clear on that. But, anyway. The first one was Kim in the confessional. The second one is Chris out of the confessional. Kim, I don't know what you're complaining about. I'm like, Kim has a reputation. She was on the sex tape. What do you mean you don't know? She's not complaining about anything. She's worried, if anything, about her status. About what people will think of her after this happens. But yeah, let's ignore that. Manager. See, Chris doesn't act like much of a manager. For me, she doesn't act like much of a manager. Because if she was much of a manager, as she says she is, she would have respected Kim's boundaries. Because that's what managers are supposed to do. I don't care if you're her mom, your aunt. That's what managers are supposed to do. Respect boundaries. Okay? I don't understand how hard that is. I don't understand how hard it is. The next bullet point is more photos. And it's more uncomfortable for Kim because she has to strip down naked. And I'm like, girly. Okay. Stop. Let's stop right now. And Bruce even though he didn't do much of convincing Kim, so Kimberly has to clean up her act. I agree. The first time you'll probably ever, if I say in part 2 next week, oh, I don't like Bruce, just know that this is probably the first time ever I'm agreeing with Bruce. I agree with Bruce. I don't know if I'm gonna stitch this together, or if I'm gonna post this. If I go post part 1, this is part 1, but you'll see in the description below of Spotify, you'll see. So, yeah. In conclusion, protect Kendall and Kylie, especially in that era. Protect Kim. And screw Bruce and Chris. And Brody. And his friend. But yeah, that's all I have to say. If you like watching this video, watching this episode, or listening to the episode, please leave a like. It really helps the show. It really does. Please leave a like on Spotify or whatever you listen to. And you guys have a nice day. I'm still not done with the show. This is the first half. You guys have a nice day.